Our South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Dibia joins us now for more on the situation in the country. Betty, President Ramaphosa won praise for announcing the lockdown early before the country had recorded any of its current total of 18 coronavirus deaths. But the extension to the lockdown doesn't seem to be going down too well, does it?
Well, that number of fatalities has been revised to 20. 20 people have died of the coronavirus in South Africa. But going back to your question, it's very difficult times here. The lockdown announcement, or the lockdown has been difficult, and the extension no less. But opinions are divided. Many people, especially the opposition parties, or most of them, have thrown their weight behind the president, and different interest groups, including COSATU, that's the umbrella labor group, as well as SANCO, that's the South African National Civic Organization. They support the president for the decision he's taking, although the Democratic Alliance, the biggest opposition party in the country, has said that this extension is equal to economic disaster, looking at the economic impact of the suspension of everything in the country and people's lives, especially those who live on a day-to-day basis or live according to what they earn on or make on a daily basis. But you have those who say, look, this is for our own good, so we have to just take it all and ensure that we're alive to be able to build economies or build our lives.
You know, Betty, you mentioned the economic disaster. You know, analysts are saying it's likely to be severe. Has the government announced any measures to cushion the effect of the COVID-19 on the lockdown on the economy?
Well, there's so many things right from the get-go when the president announced some of the measures that will be in place. You have the Solidarity Fund, which has been swelling since the president announced it about 2 or 3 weeks ago. You have people who have donated 1 billion each, so the Treasury has contributed, and latest executives of companies, individuals have contributed to it, what is called the Solidarity Fund, to help cushion the effect of this on the people and the economy. You also have the UIF, where the Treasury has voted as much as 40 billion rand, and a lot of payout has been going on since the lockdown began. There are other private initiatives, private sector initiatives to help people. And lately, to petty traders or hawkers have been allowed, those who have permits have been allowed to continue selling. These are people who make money on a daily basis to feed their families. But then again, there's an angle where, many of these benefits are for people who are South Africans, and understandably so. But the foreign nationals who are here, many of them, it's quite difficult. We know that there are initiatives by some foreign national groups, including Nigerian associations, who have been sharing, some relief, little bit to get people to just survive on a daily basis, sharing food items, cleaning items to people and their families, those who are not able to support their families at this point.
You know, Betty, it's nearly 5 weeks since the first confirmed case in the country, and until the 28th of March, the daily graph tracking the number of new infections, followed a familiar kind of trend. But the anticipated tsunamis of infections that many experts predicted is yet to materialize in the country. What is South Africa doing right?
Well, I guess the lockdown may have helped from the statistics that the president reeled out on Thursday night, which said that pre-lockdown we had an average daily increase of about 42%, and this went down to about 4% during the lockdown within these 2 weeks that we've been on lockdown. So the lockdown may have helped. You also massive enlightenment at different levels of the communities. At the local level, in the different languages, people are being told about the coronavirus, as it's been done in almost every country. So people know what it's all about. The issue of social distancing whether people are complying strictly. The African culture, it's quite difficult. Whether people are complying strictly with this, it's difficult. Some people, it's just their reality. I know that the government has made efforts to try to relocate some of the people in the informal, what they call the informal settlements, where you have a huge crowd of people living in very small spaces, to get them to go to other places. I don't know if that has been finalized.
All right, then our South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Dibia bringing us up to speed on the situation in the country there. Thanks once again, Betty.